Okay, guys, here we are. We are rolling. We're fixing to do a demonstration or a review with the cordless Andis T outliner, and I'm gonna double up and give you some footage of the Slimline Pro all-in-one so we can compare it. So, initial review of the cordless T outliner is, I like the fact that it's the same size and pretty much looks the same as a regular corded T outliner. So here they are, side by side, just a little bit longer towards the bottom, but pretty much the same size. So Andis did a great job at, keeping it original, true to form. So let's see how it performs. I have the blade set right just a hair below zero, but it's pretty close. So it should perform well based on this setting right here without having to readjust. So let's see how it goes. So I had mentioned in the earlier video on the initial review that there's kind of a delay when you first power the switch on and when the trimmer actually comes on, just a slight delay. It feels pretty smooth. One note that I will have to make as far as how this setup is, this is the Andis GTX blade that is on here. So this is what my guy Blake P sent me to do this review. So this is his trimmer, his setup on it. So this is not the original blade. So basically this review is with the deep teeth Andis GTX blade on here, but it feels pretty smooth. So it's cutting pretty good. Going around right here, it feels like I have to apply a little bit more pressure than I may have to do if I'm using a regular T outliner with a sharp blade. It feels like it's touching the skin kind of soft. So I feel like I need to apply a little bit more pressure, but it's actually performing pretty good. So no knocks on that part of it. Let's look at some of that portion of the edge up. And we're going to go to the other side and use the Slimline Pro Li. So same thing, gonna start in the back. with the Slimline, I feel like I don't have to apply as much pressure. You know, it just feels sharper. And both of the blades are set the same way. So going across the front part. And I think you notice that you can actually hear the hair being cut a little bit better with the Slimline. Finishing up on this side of the edge up. So just as far as feel in the hand, the cordless TI liner definitely feels better in the hand because it feels kind of awkward to hold this. But performance wise, I still say the Slimline. So just based on feel, can you tell the difference as far as which one feels sharper or whatnot from your perspective?
The cordless one was way smoother. Yeah, those smooth, like they had a light touch on the line.
What about the other one as far as feel?
The other one, the one you just got done using.
This what I used on this side.
They feel different, but they want rougher. Like you ain't gotta be as heavy-handed with them as the other one.
So from my point of view, it feels sharper.
There you.
So with the cordless TI liner, that's what I used on that side. It definitely feels smoother and softer to the touch, but the awkward part came, I felt like I needed to apply more pressure to get the same result that I did with this side by applying less pressure. And even though the blades are set pretty much identical, this just feels sharper. So it's almost like I would prefer the Slimline with this size blade because basically that's like the difference in the blade. This one has a wider blade and the teeth are a little bit more spread out on the Slimline. So basically I would come back and review it again with the regular TI liner blade on it, and I probably would try like a Pivot Pro blade, and just modify it to fit on here because the Pivot Pro blade is closer to the Slimline blade, and I'll come back and review it with that blade on it. But just initially, I had heard so much about the power of this. To be honest, I really was expecting more power out of it. So just from that aspect, just based on what people have been saying, I'm kind of surprised that it didn't have more power. It feels smooth and solid, but if you all have actually used the bevel trimmer, just between the three of them, the bevel definitely has more power, and even the cordless wall detailer has more power wise, but this is a better made machine, than the wall. The bevel is made pretty good, and I think you can say it has more power compared to this. But if you like the traditional feel of Andis better, I would give this the heads up as far as if you're just looking from a traditional aspect. but comparing it to the bevel, the technology side would definitely be on the bevel side, and I think the power would be on the bevel side. But just out of performance, and this is just unbiasedly speaking, that's part of the reason why I never actually purchased this, because of the price tag, because I never felt like it would outperform this. You know, when I got this Slimline and actually tested and reviewed it, I was impressed enough to where I could actually use the Slimline exclusively and not even use another trimmer. And just based on price wise, I wouldn't go out and buy this after reviewing it, even though I do like it, if that makes sense. But, you know, money wise, I would give the heads up to the Slimline Pro. I know I've heard people give it a knock as far as durability or whatever, but I haven't had any issues with it, and I've been using it pretty much on a regular basis. But I haven't been aggressively using it. Like, I don't ball out with it. I don't do any extra work other than edging up and maybe just cleaning up, you know, on a light shave, but I don't really do any hardcore work with it. So I give the TI liner a good review, but I don't think the price tag matches, you know, my impression of it. So it's something I would have in the lineup if the price tag was lower, but just after reviewing it, I wouldn't go out and buy nan at that price tag. But if it was closer, you know, to a more reasonable price, I would definitely go out and buy it. So money wise, I would definitely buy another Slimline Pro as opposed to spending money on this. I would rather buy 2 or 3 of them. Right, Linda? Linda's in the background, sitting in the corner, wrapped up in a cape like it's a blanket because she's cold, but we're not going to talk about that because we love her. But anyway, guys, it's Monday evening. It's after 8 p.m. Coming here to do this review for you guys and give you my take on the Cordless Andis TI liner. I think it's a good trimmer. My main knock on it is I'm not really impressed by the power, and I don't like the price tag. So for performance wise, I would stick with the Slimline, but I know a lot of you are in love with this and you're still going to go out and buy it anyway. But that's my take on it. Ron Legend, coming from Classic Cuts Barbershop. Linda in the background trying to keep from making noise up as she's silently trying to open her piece of candy. But anyway, till next time, guys, peace.